Would you ever do a live art show?
You mean where like I paint in front of people,
Mm-hmm.
like live? I have before.
Yeah, before.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Well, like I did caricatures for a lot of years, so I kind of got over my fear of like being watched while I'm working on stuff. Um, so it is pretty cool. I've also done like digital stuff,
Yeah.
where like I'm kind of working abstract on like a screen while there's like music and stuff, like in dance settings and stuff like that. It's almost like uh, like an accent to like the performance on stage with the music and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's kind of neat. I like stuff like that. It's interesting.
I do enjoy watching those videos when I come across them.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say I purposely go search them,
Hmm.
but if I'm on Twitter or something, I'm scrolling and they pop up, I watch it.
Yeah, it's neat, but I'm never
Yeah.
gonna like create a masterpiece in front of people. You know what I mean? That's something that takes time. I have to be kind of like isolated by myself, thinking about it, look at it, assess it as I'm working and stuff. I can't really do something that's like too incredible in like an hour's time.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Something that that I always thought about with art, as far as like what we were talking about earlier with the super expensive pieces, that's when I realized like you hear about the starving artist,
Hmm.
but then
That's me.
it's,
Sometimes.
you can always make that one piece that'll change your life. You know what I'm saying? Like the right person sees that piece and be like,
Yeah,
I'll pay whatever you want for this piece.
sure. Yeah, a lot of that's knowing the right people and being in the right. You know that happens in more like cities, like in California, like San Francisco, Manhattan, stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit tougher for it to happen somewhere like in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to be kind of amongst the right people. I think.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'm happy that you answered that for me because I just always wondered about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like traditional artists that produce paintings that they can charge a decent amount for, and then one day they'll just sell one for $10,000, and it's like that's a big boon. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
I know of one artist, I'll give him a shout out actually. His name is Mint Nelson on Twitter.
Emmett Nelson.
He sells he does oil pastels,
Mhm.
but he uses like rainwater and different things like that. I know on Twitter he sell his stuff for like $2,000 a pop.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's a more of a new avenue for artists like that is
Mhm.
like the ability with social media to be able to brand yourself and reach an audience that's not just where you live.
Yeah.
That's something I need to do a lot more. I'm really bad about it.
Yeah.
But in a way, there's more of an opportunity for artists like that to make a living doing that. But also, there's a lot of them. So like trying to stand out amongst the crowd is the challenge.
Yeah.
You know,
I
you
can
have to bring something original to it.
I can see that. And I only know of him because I think he's in like the Charleston area.
Hmm.
And one of his pieces got so popular that he just made copies. And it was just selling off
Selling
the
the
shelf.
prints.
Yeah, and he usually does paintings of his surroundings. Like he made one of his grandma, like just fishing,
Hmm.
and he started putting it on like clothing, and it kind of went kind of crazy for a while.
Yeah.
And he just does, like I said, things in his surroundings, like the woods near his house, different farms and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I just always thought it was neat, how he does that, and just like, yeah, you can buy this for 2,000 and people buy it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's cool. Like,
Yeah, once you reach a certain height, you can kind of demand that kind of stuff more
Yeah.
often, I think. Yeah. But
Yeah, I
it's
thought
tricky
that
to
was
get there. And like I can't exactly tell anyone how, like what the magical formula is. I think it's sometimes just, I mean, no matter what, you have to work hard at it and be constantly doing it.
yeah.
Like you're not going to get any of that success without that part,
Hmm. I agree with the social media thing you were saying too, about just having to push yourself on there. Promotion and marketing is really the key to a lot of things. You can have the work ethic all day, but if no one knows that you're doing these things because you're not putting it out, like, it's just like, oh, I'm doing these really great things, but only I and maybe a few other people know about it.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying with that. But I know for myself, and just like you were saying, I'm not really a social media like person.
It's not, I don't think about it most of the time.
Yeah. At least not posting wise.
Yeah, it's not in my routine. I don't really, like, I'm trying to kind of like make myself do that more. Like
Yeah.
I have a good example, like the guy that I used to to work the business with. He's a local artist named Peter Battaglioli.
Yeah.
He works at the flea market in North Myrtle Beach, the Sun Flea Market. He's an incredible artist, and he has just like thousands of images of all the different illustrations that he's done. He primarily does caricature stuff, but he does literally almost any celebrity that you could ever think of. He has just a massive portfolio. But because he's not really savvy with social media and stuff, like I guarantee he would take off, if like he just knew how to promote. But he's he's a little bit older. It doesn't really come natural to him and stuff like that. He doesn't want to be bothered with it, which I don't blame him. But it's like that's kind of the other part of it. Like you have to put in that social media work, which is like not every artist is into that. Like they didn't sign up. They just want to make the thing,
Yeah.
But you have to be like an influencer now, if you want to take off.
And also you mentioned that you've worked on logos. Are there any businesses in the local area, even if they're not in the local area, that you've done work for that you can probably shout out right now?
Yeah, well, so like the most recent work, and I'm starting to work with him. Ideally, my role is going to be kind of an art director for his company. Yeah. But Matt Hayward, he has the Rigatoni and Murder Mystery restaurant, and the other one that just opened up in North Myrtle Beach, which is the Murder in the Wild West.
I've been seeing billboards for that.
Yeah, I did the logos for those.
Oh,
I didn't do the billboards yet because he just commissioned me to do those logos. But I just recently had a meeting with him to sign on to like consolidate his brands and art direct his stuff.
Yeah.
I did the Gringo Ninja
Ricky
logo for Ricky.
Yeah.
I did some work for Adam. You know Adam DeWitt?
Yeah.
When he was kind of pursuing streaming and stuff like that, I did like his banners and things like that.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
So that's kind of some of the more recent stuff.
Okay, word. I knew about the Rigatonis one. I didn't know about the other ones though.
Yeah. The face logo primarily. Like I haven't done any of the billboards or anything like that.
Okay, gotcha.
But that's kind of the idea now is I'm going to be working more on that stuff.
Well, congratulations on that opportunity. That's fire. That's fire.
It should be fun.